Hey Pisces, happy October. Thanks for stopping by to listen to your reading. I'm Madeline, if we haven't met before, and if you're back, great to see you. So before we dive into your cards for the month, I want to talk to you about a channeled message that came through from Spirit as I was sitting here and shuffling. So first of all, Spirit just said loud and clear, through the looking glass. And I was like, okay, interesting, tell me more. And then they gave me that quote, which is, she generally gave herself very good advice, parentheses, though she seldom followed it. So, Pisces, this is not a divine spanking or a judgment from Spirit. This is actually their way of saying, the way I've understood it, is only you are going to be able to see yourself through this thing. You know, that doesn't mean that other people can't be great advisors or friends or sounding boards, but you really, in this situation, in October, whatever it is that you're navigating, the thing that you desire, the thing that you want, you've got to trust yourself. And I feel like they're telling me this because it's kind of like there's a lot of voices at play here. There are maybe some people that you're worried about being judged in front of, or some people who don't think that you should do it the certain way that you want to do it, but it's kind of like, bro, sis, like, I got it. This is my life, this is my love, this is my whatever, and I've got to do it my way. Follow your own good advice this month. In October, make sure that you don't just give yourself good advice, but that you follow it. Okay, Pisces? And other people might give you great advice, but this month, beyond, advice from a doctor or a lawyer or something, I would advise you to trust yourself way far beyond even, a venerable tarot reader. Okay, now we're going to dive into your cards, Pisces. Let's see. Okay, beautiful. Wow. Beautiful way to kick off. I promise to reveal all in just a second. Okay. Ooh. Through the looking glass, indeed. Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow. Okay. Wow. I think you are going to give yourself some good advice and take it, Pisces, for what that's worth. So, here's you, where you find yourself. Page of Cups. Look at that, using your cup as a looking glass. And where's your cup? But right here at the center of your reading. The Ace of Cups that Page of Cups is staring into. So, good Lord. You are, of course, a water sign, Pisces, so it makes absolute sense that we'd be seeing, like, pretty dominant watery energy. But it also seems to be taking, like, an earthly shape. So that's why I say I feel like you are going to take some of your own advice. I feel like you're going to capitalize on some gains that you've made in the recent past. Boy. What it feels like is you might be letting go of something, and for some of you this feels like someone who might have made you feel a little bit dragged down or a little bit embroiled and tangled in like fights or pettiness or backbiting or gossip that's just like, why am I even entertaining this person? Why am I even dealing with this at this point? Like, this isn't for me. I don't like this. I feel like some of you are clearing that out. And with the Ace of Cups coming at the center, Seven of Swords floating over the top, the letting go, the sneaking away, and look, sometimes we have to retreat. Sometimes we're up against forces that are way bigger than us and we just got to take what we can carry and we got to go. And that involves maybe letting go of a couple things. For some of you, it might be literally like, I'm leaving this space or this house or this business or this whatever behind, and I kind of have to just eat the fact that I'm missing, like, that this amount of money was lost. Like, I'm cutting my losses. That's, if I could just put it simply. Some of you are cutting your losses, taking your own advice, and having a new beginning. And crossed by the Ten of Pentacles, like, it looks safe. It also looks profitable. Like, security, money, the receiving of gifts, all of this is foretold in your reading. And it comes from you being open-hearted and honest about what you want and what you don't want in your life. Both of those things, okay? And both of them equally important, because sometimes we can get bogged down in either one. Meaning I can get way too excited and fixated on like this thing that I want, like, or I can get way too low and fixated on this thing that I don't want. And we don't want either of those things. We don't want extremes this month. We want moderation. We want temperance. Mixing and matching, yin and yang. That's what's going to get us what we actually want. So there is new coming in. But of course, to have this beautiful new stuff coming in, we do have to make room, right? So what is no longer serving your growth? What is making you feel held down, guilty, maybe just bored? That's what they just said for some of you. Like, why am I carrying this? I'm so tired of having this same conversation or this same conflict over and over. Why don't I just go ahead and like let it go? Even though it's scary. Change is scary. Here's what's in the future. Don't be afraid, Pisces. I will explain. This is the death card, but death in the tarot is about the ending of cycles. And death is not as scary as, for example, the Tower, which you don't have in your spread. Because the Tower is like fucking out of nowhere and scary and kind of unnatural in the sense of like everything seemed to be going this one way and then kablam, like then something else just completely just came in out of nowhere and knocked that thing down. Death is a natural process. Things birth, right? Birth and death. Things are born and then they grow and then they die. They go back to the earth. It is a continuing cycle. And we as human beings, as spirits having a human experience, we go through deaths and rebirths throughout our life. And you, Pisces, you happen to be the final sign, the 12th sign, the sign of, death and sacrifice. Like, Scorpio, of course, gets the sex, death, and money. But you are the transcendence, that liminal space between life and death. Like, we could call you, the quote-unquote afterlife, which would be the same thing as the before life. You know what I'm saying? Like, that liminal space, that in-between. So, for you, Pisces, this is not as scary as it is for some other people. You recognize that change is necessary, and change is, more importantly, inevitable. So the more that I'm down and willing to be like, okay, yep, like to get the yang I want, I've got to experience a little yin to make the space for what I want. That means I have to sacrifice some things that are no longer befitting of me. Okay. For some of you, and this is where I'm going to say Pisces, these are general readings, and because it's not one-on-one, I get a lot of messages, so this is not going to be true for every single Pisces. In fact, it's going to be for a very select few of you, but Spirit is coming through with it strongly, so I feels like I got to say it. Between Ace of Cups, Page of Cups, Nine of Cups, Empress, Ten of Pentacles, for some of you, this is about family, like your children, or perhaps even like maybe you're pregnant or you're getting pregnant, and if that's not something that you want, or you don't want your partner to get pregnant, be a little extra careful this month, Pisces, because that's a lot of stuff that says to me, birth, new beginning, new love. Like, it's really wonderful. I mean, like, couldn't ask for a lot more when it comes to options and opportunities and beauty. But you have to go through a little bit of an ego death. What do I mean by that? Why don't people change when they realize something isn't working for them? And we could apply this to anything. We could apply it to people's money habits. We could apply it to people's eating habits. We could apply it to people's dating habits. Like, Spirit is bringing me back to that quote about Alice. Like, she generally gave herself very good advice, though she seldom followed it. Why is that? Why can we know, damn, I really shouldn't be eating this bag of Cheetos right now. I just told myself yesterday, like, you're going to eat yourself sick, or like, you want to lose this weight, or you want to like save this money. Why did we go spend it right now? What are we doing? Why are we talking to this person when we know they're not worth our time and they always leave us feeling empty afterward? Spirit is saying all these different things. Trust your own intuition, what resonates with you. Why is it that when that happens, we don't just like, oh, well, I'm going to stop talking to them. Oh, well, I'm going to put down the bag of Cheetos. And in fact, I'm going to throw it out and I'm never buying them again. It was that easy because I just know that's what I'm supposed to do. Why not? It's not, we can tell ourselves a lot of stories about why we don't. And that becomes a wonderful distraction, which is a potential here. You could get distracted. You could look at all the things you've got going on. You could just like throw your hands in the air and be like, yeah, shit, I don't know. I've got a ton of priorities. What am I gonna do with these? But there's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful chance that you won't, especially if you're willing to actually take your own advice. So the ego death thing. Why don't we make those changes? Because to change means a literal death of our ego being our individualized identity, our idea of ourselves. So even if, like, trying to think of like a hypothetical, Spirit is not saying this, but like if I am repeatedly engaging with like a person, for example, that makes me feel like shit afterward, whether it's a friend, whether it's a partner, whatever. Like every time I try to get the thing that I want from this person, I actually end up feeling more empty. But to stop interacting with this person, to stop doing whatever the habit is or the thought loop is that I have been doing up until now, that literally requires me to be a different person. Because Maddie yesterday would have eaten the whole pint of ice cream or messaged the person she's not supposed to message or whatever. And for me to be different today, like I would have to do different. That means that I have to be a different person, and that is more scary than actually making the change for the change's sake. We are threatened by anything that goes up against our ego. It's the reason we dig our heels in when we have political arguments on Facebook. Like, it doesn't matter what new information you present me, this is who I am and this is how I'll be, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? And we don't want to do that. You want to take your own advice. You're in the flow. You have everything going for you. Security, the receiving of gifts, the making of great decisions that actually lead to like tangible milestones. Like, I'm going to change this habit of the way I maybe emotionally think about my job or my money. And in doing so, I'm going to make more money. I'm going to save better. I'm going to build this empire or rebuild these savings that I've not been doing because maybe I was a little distracted. Maybe I wasn't completely in my element. When it comes to your money, that's also really important this month on a totally just mundane level. But hey, mundane doesn't mean unimportant. We all need money. Your finances look very promising. It looks like actually there are people that want to partner with you. It looks like there are people that want to offer you space or opportunity to grow. I say take it. Take your own advice. Listen, remember, above all, your free will, your intuition are everything. But I feel pretty good about it. You do want to narrow your choices down. You do want to make sure you're not retreading old ground or fantasizing or deluding yourself into thinking something that is exactly the same is going to turn out different. That's just what they're saying. Not a judgment from me, not a judgment from Spirit. The new is good. And making room for the new, if you don't know what the new is yet, think about and do a little self-inventory of what could go. What habits, what thoughts, what interactions, conversations, maybe even people or situations don't resonate anymore and gotta go. Because if you take the leap of faith, if you make a little room, if you modulate and moderate, you make room for magic to happen. You make room for rebirth. You make room for new progress. And P.S., if you don't want any pregnancies, I'm just going to say it again, wrap it up. Love you, Pisces. I just want you to have what you want. If what you want is babies, that looks fantastic. If what you don't want is babies, I won't repeat myself. So what's going on? You giving birth to a real child? Are you giving birth to an idea? Are you opening your heart to a new way of living? Because that's what it looks like. Damn, I love the way they just said that. Whew, tell me about it, Pisces. You got questions, you got stories, you got advice for your fellow Pisceans. You got a community here, ideally, that you guys can help each other out. Plenty of fish in the sea, hopefully below in the comments. Oh, fish, get it? Okay, I hate me too. Love you, Pisces. Thank you for being here. I really hope that it's helpful for you. And if I don't see you in a video before then, I hope I see you in your November reading. Bye, Pisces.